Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Mazda MX5 Rookie Edition, this time at Oulton Park Fosters for yet another track guide. But it's not me behind the wheel, it's Gianni Lutzu. If you don't know who he is, he's a real-life racing driver, full-time driver coach, and there is a link in the description if you want to improve your own skills. He's the guy that got me from 1200 iRating to 5.5k. Let's go. So here we are, smashing it down the main straight, looking for the end of the ad holdings on the left-hand side. Brakes briefly up to about 50%, trail off, back on the gas before the apex, exiting wide, but no wider than that with the new track layout. Well, with the new off-track layout. Right, over to the right side, tiny dab on the brakes, just brushing it. Now as we straighten up, braking up to about 70%, down to first gear, back on the gas, just controlling that oversteer. Just minimal corrections on the wheel as he went through that corner. As we go up the hill, up into fourth gear, over to the right hand side, now over to the left. Now where the line is furthest to the left, that's when you get on the brakes, which about 40%. Again, perfect trail off from Gianni. Back on the gas, exiting nice and wide. One final braking marker to go, and it's just as we get into this little dip, that'll show you in the brake. Down lap, down to second gear, back on the gas, clipping the inside and clipping the outside. Over and across the line he goes in a 1:05.7. Right, we will do the breakdown lap now. Okay, so charging through the breakdown lap. So these ad holdings on the left-hand side, as we get to the end of the one that says Two Brother Racing, the dark ones here, you can see he goes on the brakes up to initially around 49%. And then a beautiful trail off down to third gear, starting to get back on the gas well ahead of the apex, so that when he's actually on the apex, getting the right-hand tyres over that curbing, he's back on the gas. Exits nice and wide, but this is absolutely as far as you can go. Used to be able to go another 1.5 meters over to the left. Right. Next one, we're going to do a big lift as we get into this little dip that's just in front of the car, because when we get into the dip, what's going to happen is the weight of the car is going to compress down as we go into the dip, and it means you're going to be able to actually steer. You're going to get more compression, and the front wheels are going to dig in and actually do what you want them to do. So we do a lift, and he goes on the brakes only up to sort of 6%, and then he comes off and starts getting back up to 100% as he's hitting the apex. Now, as soon as he straightens his wheel, so before the end of this road on our left-hand side, he gets on the brakes, steering towards the outside of the corner. He holds it at roughly 70%, and now trails off down to first gear, picking back up on the gas as he hits the apex. Exits nice and wide. Back over to the right-hand side. Now, Gianni did this in a 1:05.7. I've got to say, I had half an hour of having a go. My best was a 1:06.2. So that gives you something else to chase rather than this time. Right, next braking marker. You see where the white line bows out to the left and then comes back inside. It's when it's at its most left point that you get on the brakes. So just here. And he gets on the brakes, which is about 45%, trails it off down to third gear, getting back up on the gas. There we go, just as right at the apex on 100%. Absolutely flat through the next part. You will probably exit nice and wide, just clipping that rumble strip. And the final braking marker. Right, so it's sort of midway between where we are now, or the turn right sign, and this Marshall's hut coming up. But also, if you can see, there is also a tiny little dip in the road up ahead. So we're about to go into the dip now. It's very hard to see on a single screen like this. In VR, it's very easy. Not that I'm in VR right now, but I do know the road quite well. So there we go. We get into it now, and that's when he gets on the brakes, holds it at around 60% still, and now he's going to trail off as he turns, drops it down to second gear, picking back up on the gas. Does he hit 100% on the apex? No. So he only hits 100% once he's opened that steering slightly, so it is a fairly slippy corner. I'll get round, tag to the left-hand side, and over and across the line he goes. Right, we've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on and without me talking. Enjoy. Lovely stuff. See you again next week.